Well, Coach, first and foremost, a diamond cutter. How does that feel to get that done here this weekend?
Well, unfortunately, I don't play to the diamond cutter. We play to a standard, and I was happy we found a way to win. You know, you've heard me say before, we don't critique wins. We got to be better, right? I think everyone can say. You know, it's funny how 24 hours works. Last night, I think I recall saying we probably played the best period of hockey I've seen here in my 18 months in the second period, just to match it to the worst period of hockey I've seen us play in 18 months in the second period. So, so it all balanced out. It's equal, I guess, right, often. But I'm happy for the guys. We found a way. We got a timely power play goal right at the end off it. And, I always say good teams find ways, off it. And we definitely found a way tonight. I wouldn't say it was a Picasso by all means, but at the end of the day, it's a win. And, we got to learn from it. We got to move on.
What were your main thoughts on the first period? Because the second period descended quickly and was mostly Princeton for sure. But
I thought
first period getting out of there with the lead.
Yeah, I don't even know how we did that, really. I didn't think we were really good in the first or second. It was one where, you needed a guy or a line or someone just to step up, and lead. And this is where we talk about maturity and growth of a group always. I said in between periods, like we need to start taking strides and create separation in games and elevate. You saw what we did yesterday. I thought we played some pretty good hockey. So how does the script flip so quickly? Credit to Princeton and their coaching staff, Ben Sauer. They did a good job. They put in some new fresh bodies up front. They're bigger, physical. I thought they were more faster today than us. They competed harder than us. And at the end of the day, we have to, as I always say, play to a faceless opponent. Our opponent is just us. And if we can just play to the standard we ask, we're a pretty good hockey team. But tonight, like I said, the one thing that I'm really happy is we got the win. But at the end of the day, there's a lot we got to be better at.
And I guess in particular when you're not playing quite the way you want to have the power play come through twice is a huge equalizer.
Oh, it's huge, especially because I thought the power play struggled both nights, off it. Entries were poor off it, but we were able to find, that goal, like the one at the end. We had a really nice play right before that, right before it came back to Quinn again, right? So, huge power and when it comes to power play and penalty kill, and I should reset this a little bit because I was disappointed with how our power play looked yesterday. I know we had a couple good goal line looks off it, but today I didn't think we were connected off it. But it's also for power play and all special teams, it's getting the timely ones. You could be 0 for 8 all game in a 3-3 game and get the 9th power play in that game, and if you score, who cares about the other 8? You just won a hockey game, right? So tonight, I wouldn't say our power play was dynamic, but it did get our last 2 goals for us. Obviously with Hadi coming in on the entry to get us tied up going into the third, and then another late one there at the end of the third. So it's about getting them at the right time. And tonight, I thought we were pretty opportunistic when we scored those.
Was it nice to see Hotson's go in, especially because they had one that was a tough angle shot, in particular from Latta that snuck in as well in that second period. A bit of an equalizer there, right?
Yeah, kind of. I think you beat them short side there off it, right? Kind of just like they did on the entry, right? For theirs, beat Steinman high glove, and same there. So, good things happen when you put pucks on net. You crash net. There's never. You don't see too many coaches upset if you're funneling pucks in the net. But I didn't even think tonight we got a lot of bodies to the net. I just thought we were a little bit off. So, it's the way it goes. We got to, get a day off tomorrow and get reset and come back Monday.
And then moving forward, what would you like to adjust from this weekend moving forward?
Well, just like anything, puck management. We got to bottle up that energy we see in the first game for both games. Like we have 2 games left before the Christmas break. We got to stay focused. We got to stay sharp. We got to stay hungry. We got to stay determined, and we got to be ready for a good week of practice. And Northern Michigan coming in on Friday.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned a couple of times just not feeling like you had it tonight or just not playing too well. How nice was it to see, the team still being able to come away with a win tonight, especially, in that second period, being outplayed for 15 minutes and then being able to tie it up and go into the third even?
I'd probably say the second. You say the second for 15 minutes? Probably all 20 we got outplayed. You can say that to me. It's all right. Again, you ask the guys that come out here, what they'll tell you, we're happy we won. But again, we really push here about playing to a standard, right, and a protocol, right, off it, and if we can play to the way we want to, right? That's the process. We can't worry about the end result, right? But if it'd be interesting how they thought the game went, and not be skewed by how we as coaches thought it went. But I don't think our guys would sit here and tell you that was a real great effort of compete and execution. But again, at the end of the day, we found a way, and I'd rather learn with a win than learn with a loss. So it was good for our guys to find a way and get some timely goals.
Hey, Iceman, you got the goal there with under 3 minutes to go. How special was that moment? Just kind of take us through kind of what happened there and scoring that power play goal.
I mean, anytime we can come out with a sweep, it just feels amazing. And then obviously to make it 4-3 with 3 minutes left, it's huge. And especially come from the power play, we're struggling. But Minville, nice play by him. And finally we got it set up and made a nice play. So I'm just really happy it went in and we got the sweep.
Yeah, Tyler, they talked about the zone entries. Coach said they maybe were not great tonight, but on yours in particular, you're able to get in there pretty quickly and a nice backhanded shot. What did you see there that led to your power play goal?
Yeah, it was a good play by Dom there, gaining the entry, hitting me with speed, and then I was just taking it to the net and fortunate enough to find the back of the net.
When just getting a couple power play goals, didn't have any Friday night, but get a couple tonight, especially on a night where in stretches they outplayed you. How did it feel to kind of equalize the game in that regard?
I mean, we were talking about it this morning. The power play, we need to pick it up. We need to get at least one goal. That's what we aim for every game. So anytime you can get 2, that's a win. And power play was huge tonight. 5-on-5, we didn't do good enough, but power play got us the game. So did the kill. So.
Yeah, Tyler, we kind of asked Coach about his thoughts on the first period in particular. He felt like that was not a great period either, and the second was almost a really disaster. But getting out of that first period with a lead, how important was that, even though the second period kind of went awry there?
Yeah, anytime you come out of a period where you're not really playing your best and still have the lead is really important. And I think, obviously, yeah, our second period wasn't great, but good teams find a way to win, and we kind of weathered the storm there in the second, came out in the third, and got the job done.
How did you guys come away from that second period? Because the standard definitely was not met in that period, but again, you guys were able to tie it, so that's a positive there, even though it was kind of, I guess, a limited positive in what was a tough period for you guys.
I think we knew the first 2 periods were just not up to our standard at all. But anytime you can go in the third period when it's 3-3, pretty much 0-0, you just got to win one period, and that was our mindset going into the third period.
How big of a confidence boost is this for you, Tyler? To get a couple big wins here this weekend, non-conference play, kind of set you up for the Christmas break the way you want it to, right?
Yeah, that was huge. Obviously, anytime you can get a sweep, especially against a good team like that, Princeton, is huge. I think going in next week, we got Northern and then the break, so we got to take care of business next week and then have a nice break and then come back and be ready to go.
Yeah, going back to the power play goals, guys, just how did it feel to be able to score, such timely goals, not even just on the power play, but just to get them at the right time when you really need them?
Yeah, like Quinn said, I mean, anytime that we can, help our team, obviously 5-on-5, we weren't great tonight, but anytime that we can get 2 on the power play and help our team out is a good key to success.
Yeah, definitely. And then, the next couple of months as well, you're home quite a bit, the last couple of weeks, and then you got one game in December at home as well. Just how does it, being able to sleep in your own bed and just not having to go on the road so much?
I mean, anytime you get to play in the Slater, you have a chance against anyone. So it feels good to play here, and we're excited to play in this home stretch. So